Hello everyone and welcome to Your Brain on Tech, where we discuss and debate the week's hottest stories in tech. I'm Eric Hurst. This week we're talking about Best Buy's entrance into the cloud arena. We're going to jump into some role play with Steve Jobs and others, and share our nightmares by letting you know the worst tech we've ever owned. Joining me today are contributors Alex Cedar and Brian Gotts. Let's get started. This is Your Brain on Tech. So last week, Best Buy quietly entered the cloud music game with its beta service called the Best Buy Music Cloud. Are you guys tired of this yet, Brian?
Absolutely. There's way too many cloud services out there. I wasn't even that excited about it when Amazon announced theirs. I don't see the point. Music isn't a big thing in my library right now, but that's me. Other people have larger libraries. I'm fine with syncing all my music to my device. Personally, Best Buy's model is pretty awful too. So.
Yeah, I'll stick with Amazon, as bad as Amazon is, and as long as it takes to upload all of that music, if I can listen to a whole song on the free version, because with Best Buy's Music Cloud, the free version, you can listen to 30-second clips of your own music that you've purchased.
Yeah, there's certainly a big three out there. You've got iCloud, Google, and Amazon. Those are the ones that are doing it, and they're doing it right. And two of them are free, and iCloud's half free. So to have one that Best Buy makes as their own, you can only use it on mobile devices, and then you've got to upload your own music. It only looks at your iTunes library, so you can't just have a music folder. You have to have everything in your iTunes folder. So if you have a PC, you have to have iTunes to use it. And then on top of that, 30 seconds for the free version, or you can pay $4 a month to have access to your full songs on your mobile devices.
Well, let's clarify something. Is this the Best Buy Monster Cloud service? Is it Monster branded?
No, it's okay. You'd be surprised. It's not branded by Monster.
It's the regular.
It's the regular thing. And besides, they own Napster too, so it's weird for them to have something like that.
Yeah, I feel like Best Buy doesn't really have a lot of experience in the software web business. I mean, yeah, they have a e-store, but getting into this is not a place where they need to be. They're going to get out of it pretty quick.
It's the first thing they've ever done like this.
And it came out of nowhere. Who cares? Nobody cares. Get out.
Nobody was waiting for it. Nobody's looking for it.
Best Buy, nobody wants you.
Welcome to Roleplay. It's new and exciting. Each of us is going to step into the mind, figuratively and literally, of today's top tech leaders to hear what we think are their opinions on news in their industry. Brian, you are up first.
Who am I?
Brian, you are Steve Jobs. How do you plan to calm your minions after the negativity surrounding Final Cut X?
Look, it's just going to take a little time for people to get used to the changes that Apple is bringing to the world of video editing. When we look at a product like Final Cut Pro, we had to look deeper than the software itself. We realized at Apple there is a fundamental problem with the way video editors are editing and doing their jobs. We thought, why not revolutionize it? So what we have is a magical product. People are a little hesitant to use, and we have a few bugs to work out, but we're confident that after a couple weeks, people are going to see the way of Final Cut Pro X.
Now, Steve, do you just assume everyone's going to just fall in line?
Well, when you have features like auto color correct, magnetic timeline, background rendering, I mean, it's really going to save the editor a lot of time. That's time that you can just, not have to work. Let your Mac do the work for you.
Thank you, Steve Jobs. All right, I am up next. Alex, who am I?
You're not going to believe this, Eric. You're Dan Hesse, CEO of Sprint. Now that Verizon has finally fallen in line and has tiered data plans, are you soon to join the axis of evil?
I'll tell you what, Sprint is not going to join the axis of evil, not yet. Tiered data plans are something that's evil, consumers think they are evil, and being the smallest of the major three, we're trying to sucker those people in. So, since we don't have those tiered data plans, people are going to want to come to Sprint. So over the next couple years, we're going to keep taking people from AT&T, taking people from Verizon, and once we have them, that's when we'll introduce the tiered data plans. It's kind of a bait and switch, but we're a cell phone company. What do you expect?
But what happens if Verizon buys you first?
We won't let them. I'm Dan Hesse, CEO of Sprint, and I don't answer to anybody. I don't answer to Dan Hesse at Sprint.com. I won't answer to Verizon. All right, Alex, you are last.
Who am I?
Alex, you're Mike Lazardis, CEO of RIM. Based on recent numbers, RIM is on a steady decline. Are you preparing for a slow, boring death?
First of all, I want to tell you something. Gizmodo said that I, and I quote, am an engineering genius. Let me spit some facts at you. App developers are dropping BlackBerry app support. RIM shares have hit a 5-year low. There are rumors of us forcing carriers to use buggy products and throw them up on the shelves just to get them out. Our products are boring. The playbook is a shiny turd compared to the iPad. BlackBerry App World is a ghost town. No one wants to make BlackBerry apps. And we're also cutting our earning expectations for next year.
Those all sound like bad things.
Oh.
And that's roleplay. I've been having a lot of trouble with my household tech this week, so to have some fun, let's talk about the worst pieces of technology we've ever owned. Alex, I'll start with you.
When you told me that we were going to be discussing this on the show, I went back and tried to think of all the terrible crap I've owned. And the stuff that stuck out most with me was every single PC I've ever owned. Starting with like the compact Presario, I've had E-machines, up to even my latest Asus netbook, which I don't know why I ever bought it. It cost $300. I got it at Best Buy. And it couldn't do anything. I could surf the web, and it wasn't even good for surfing the web. I regret every single time I've used, purchased, or anything to do with the PC.
I think everybody regrets their purchase of netbooks in this era. Brian, what about
Pretty
you?
awful. I actually purchased a TV at Westinghouse, which I thought was still a reputable brand. Apparently it is no longer the same company that you thought Westinghouse was, because I went through about 3 or 4 of them, believe it or not. They would turn off, they would change the channel, it would open the menu and go through the settings on its own. I mean...
That's a ghost TV.
Yeah, it's a ghost TV. I'm just not into that kind of thing.
Well, mine, I was going to almost say my Wii, just because of how much dust it collects, but I'm actually going to go with the TV as well, my LG TV, projection TV. It's not horrible, but it's just such a headache because of all the repairs I had to do. In the 5 years I've had it, which is pretty good for projection TV to have it for 5 years, but I have had to have it repaired 5 times. Right off the bat, I was a year in, which was pretty good, but after the year, the light engine died, which I guess is the heart of a projection TV. So I had to get that repaired, and the quote for that was the price of the TV. So thankfully, LG gave me a warranty for that. But after that, I moved, and then 2 weeks after I had it repaired, the light engine died again, the new one. So we found out it was a chip on the TV that made it break, but since then my light's gone out. My light's recently died again. This week I've been without a TV. LG, come on.
He needs a TV.
We're out of time. I want to thank Alex and Brian for joining me this week. Be sure to check out our website at yourbrainontech.com for past and present episodes. Follow the show on Twitter at twitter.com/yourbrainontech. Be sure to like us on Facebook. And now we have a Tumblr, so if you tumble, find us there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.